The bulls will tell you that, oh, this is going to catapult it over 100,000. I think it'll get a little bit of a pop, maybe a pop, like I said, to 48 to 50, and then it reverses and goes back down. Maybe it doesn't even get to 48 to 50. Now, again, you could say, oh, well, Coinbase is going to be the custodian for all of these, right? The custodian, so for Coinbase and for all these ETFs. Dude, this is another thing. The margins on being a custodian for BlackRock are about this tiny compared to what they're charging you and me to make trades on Coinbase, which is like this big.
It has been a stellar year for Bitcoin, enjoying over 150% growth after a very poor 2022. Early indicators suggest that 2024 could be an even better year for crypto's #1 token, with many analysts even predicting it will hit $100,000. Experienced trader Gareth Soloway, boasting over 2 decades of experience, delves into chart analysis of Bitcoin and altcoins and emphasizes a crucial point. Nearly every crypto investor seems already positioned in Bitcoin, banking on the ETF approval. The looming question remains, who's left to buy? Bitcoin has experienced a significant price surge this month, fueling optimism of a potential $50,000 price point by January 2024. Investors are betting on Bitcoin as a catalyst for a bull run in the coming year, driven by factors such as the U.S. Regulatory Commission's potential approval of Bitcoin ETFs. Soloway may only see a modest boost, reaching $48,000 to $50,000 before a reversal, possibly not even hitting that mark again. The conversation shifted to Coinbase, which Soloway considers a significant short. Despite acknowledging Coinbase's stellar performance as a company, Soloway highlighted a potential dilemma investors might face post-ETF approval. BlackRock chose Coinbase as the custodian for its proposed spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund, a move quickly mirrored by other ETF applications, signifying Coinbase's rising stature. Among the hottest tech stocks in 2023, Coinbase has surged over 387% year-to-date, valuing the company at $38.72 billion by market cap. Looking ahead, Soloway envisioned Coinbase's future as one of the major players in the financial landscape, comparing it to established brokerage firms. Let's now delve into the video to examine Soloway's analysis thoroughly. But before we begin, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell icon to stay updated with the latest content.
Bitcoin had a little bit of a drop yesterday. It's bouncing a little bit today. Everyone just waiting for this ETF, guys, spot ETF. The bulls will tell you that, oh, this is going to catapult it over 100,000. I think it'll get a little bit of a pop, maybe a pop, like I said, to 48 to 50, and then it reverses and goes back down. Maybe it doesn't even get to 48 to 50. Again, I said this yesterday in Trading the Close with Tony Valliere, but the key is this, is that I don't know any investor in crypto that's not in Bitcoin on anticipation of this approval. So again, who is left to buy? And you could say BlackRock and all these other players, but honestly, guys, they're smarter than that. Like, again, if you're someone sitting there and being like, oh, I can't wait till, BlackRock comes in and buys all this, it's like, dude, no. Like, you think that they're going to be the ones paying up at 48,000 for this? No, they're not. Absolutely not. They have already hedged themselves. They've already put things into place where they already have deals with this or that. They've already done it. Now, it doesn't mean that adoption might not be a catalyst over time with a spot ETF. But again, that leads me into my other thing, which is I think Coinbase, by the way, is a huge short. A huge short on Coinbase. In fact, let's bring up that chart right now and discuss just a little bit here, all right, as we go through. And the reason why, number one, Coinbase has had an incredible move. Incredible company, don't get me wrong. But think about this, is once you have a spot ETF, and I'm Gareth Soloway, right? And it's like, okay, do I have $1 million in Bitcoin, or do I put $1 million in the ETF where I have FDIC insurance? And where if someone jacks my account and steals my Bitcoin, I'm screwed over here, but I'm not screwed over here. It's a tough one, right? Now, again, you could say, oh, well, Coinbase is going to be the custodian for all of these, right? The custodian, so for Coinbase and for all these ETFs. Dude, this is another thing. The margins on being a custodian for BlackRock are about this tiny compared to what they're charging you and me to make trades on Coinbase, which is like this big. The margins are massively different. All right, so you have to understand these nuances, right? And again, to me, I look at Coinbase and I say in 10 years, it's going to be like E-Trade, Ameritrade, Schwab. It's going to be one of these. And honestly, they're probably going to have to offer free trading because there'll be so much competition once essentially you get enough players in there that have regulation, and obviously the exchanges kind of get bigger and bigger, and more exchanges, more people offering.
Soloway remains focused on a forecast shared previously, indicating that whether Bitcoin hits $48,000 or $50,000, the altcoin market might experience significant shifts. Despite Bitcoin experiencing substantial growth in the second half of 2023, these altcoins demonstrate even more favorable price trends. One of the top gainers is Solana, which recently surpassed $120 for the first time since May 2022. Solana is increasingly positioning itself as a solid rival to Ethereum. On Monday, December 25th, Coinalyze data revealed a change in market focus as investor interest in crypto altcoins gained momentum, overshadowing the traditional attention on Bitcoin. Soloway cautioned against unthinkingly following extreme price surges, suggesting that influencers might be incentivized with significant payouts to promote certain coins. Let's redirect our attention to a video now.
Bitcoin, again, doesn't have a whole lot to talk about today. Just you can see it's a lot of chop here. In essence, the only thing I'm thinking personally, and again, I went into this yesterday in my forecast, is that whether we hit 48 or 50,000, I think the altcoin market, we saw, by the way, after my game plan, and I talked about seeing as much as a 50% correction in the altcoins in the first half of 2024, we did see a pretty big drop in some of those altcoins. In fact, if we look at some of these, I mean, even look at something like a Solana, it's bounced back a little bit, but I mean, these things have so much downside to go. And again, this will piss off a lot of altcoin lovers, which is fine. That's part of the game here. But ultimately, what you have to recognize is on something like Solana, there's something that will want to see a retrace to the scene of the crime, right? Major breakout, overextended move. At some point, this hits 75, which would be a retrace to that scene of the crime. And you can look right here, right? This was a retrace, right? Broke out, retraced, broke out. This is going to have to come back into this zone down here. All right, and you could look at a lot of these other ones that have been pumped. And, you know, it's frustrating with the altcoins, and I'll tell you why, folks, is because a lot of them are scams. Now, Solana's not a scam, and some of these others are not scams. In fact, I like Solana, but it's all about at what price is Solana worthwhile. But you look at INJ here, INJ, look at this move up. We're talking 500, 1,000% moves on a lot of these altcoins. And again, what you have to recognize is that people are being paid to shill these things to you. 7 figures. 7 figures. They're being paid by some of these meme coins, and I'm not necessarily saying it's INJ or any of these other ones. But again, guys, don't be oblivious to this. All right, there's a reason why I was able to see what I saw at 69,000 and call for the correction to 20,000. Now, so far, my 10,000 call didn't pan out. Got to 15. Oh, shucks, I missed it by $5,000 from 69,000. But ultimately, the key is this, is that the same things that were occurring that I saw in 2021 are now in flux, absolutely in altcoins. Not necessarily in Ethereum. I'm not seeing the same thing in Ethereum, and I'm not seeing the same thing in Bitcoin necessarily, but in altcoins, these type of moves, again, are the moves that predate a flush and essentially a run for safety. Now, again, it doesn't mean you don't play the altcoins. If you like playing altcoins, play altcoins, but just be smart about it. You know, I'd much rather miss a pump and dump than get caught up in a pump and dump, and I think that's the key there.
In the larger time frame, the Bitcoin price is trading within a rising parallel channel, accumulating gains to test the upper resistance levels. The bulls are waiting for a significant catalyst to propel the price beyond the immediate barrier. The upcoming spot ETF approval is a significant catalyst for igniting a fine rally beyond the consolidation. Your input is valuable. Share your thoughts in the comments. If you found this content helpful, give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to stay updated. Thank you for being a part of this journey with us.